Rustic Roots Homestead. I hope you're having a wonderful day and weekend. It's currently Sunday, August 13th. We are just hanging out this morning. We have some fun activities planned for the rest of the day. The boys have no idea, but we're going to be going to a rodeo that's in town later this afternoon. And Waylon, I can't wait to see his reaction to it because he has been obsessed with all things cowboy western. I think he's gonna really love it. And Dustin went and got them some cowboy hats yesterday, and I think it's just gonna be like the most perfect thing, and so I can't wait to see his response to everything. Other than that though, I think we're gonna pretty much be around the house. I have some cleaning I have to do, laundry I have to do, normal house chores, and then I also need to do some baking. I need to get the baking done for the rest of this week. I need to do some bread because we're out of bread. I think I'm gonna try and do some cinnamon rolls for breakfast this week just to kind of change things up a bit. And then I need to make probably some pretzel bites. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make them, but the boys really, really love them. And I think it would be a nice little treat for them to have as an extra snack. And then I don't know about anything else. Maybe I'll try to make some bagels, but that might put me in a little bit over my head just because we have to go to the rodeo. The rodeo is around 2 o'clock and I think it lasts about 2 hours. And I think it might be like an hour or 45 minutes away. So we'll have to kind of see what all I can squeeze into one day. We'll go out in the garden a little bit later today. I need to figure out a good situation for the garden because some of my plants are a little bit yellow and I can't tell if it's from overwatering because we've got a ton of rain here recently, or if it is lack of nutrients in the soil because our soil is not the best and I've been trying to amend it as I go. So I need to figure that out and get that situated. But for now, while Briar's outside on the lawnmower with his daddy, and Waylon spent the night at a friend's house, so he won't be home until about like 10:30 or a little after 10:30. I'm going to sit in some peace and quiet and enjoy my coffee. I am drinking, it's not the best for you, but I'm drinking the Stoke pumpkin spiced coffee mix that they have. I am obsessed with it. This is probably my favorite pumpkin spice coffee ever, and I would say it's better than any coffee shop that I've been to, like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or anything like that. This is amazing. So if you like pumpkin spice, see if you can find the Stoke brand. It's S-T-O-K. The brand of coffee, and it is in an orange bottle and it's pumpkin spice. It is dairy free, but it is so good and I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna enjoy this and some peace and quiet before I get my day started and probably get some cleaning done before we have to go. So I'll see you in a little bit. Bobby, what do you think it is?
Yellowstone.
What?
Wait, where is Yellowstone?
In Montana.
Are we in Montana?
No, we're not.
Oh.
Might be related to Yellowstone, but we'll see.
It makes me think it's Montana. There was a guy that had a cowboy hat on.
Oh. You sure do look fancy in your cowboy boots and cowboy hat. B, what are you doing? I like your hat. What'd you say? B.
You asked me where I If you're sitting on that fence, you don't have to run backwards. You paid good money to have the best seat in the house right there.
Okay, so we just got back from the rodeo and I'm currently working on the house chores that I did not get done before we left. I am currently working on getting some laundry put away and folded and washed. Trying to be a little bit quiet because Briley is sleeping. Waylon also has friends over, so I'm trying not to interrupt and be out there too much because I don't want them on camera or anything like that. So the rodeo was awesome. I'm sure you can tell, but we got a lot of sun. It was an outside arena that they rode in, and so the sun was beating down really hard. Waylon actually got kind of heat sick and worried us a little bit. We were worried we were gonna have to go, but he didn't want to, and so we were able to get some ice on him and a fan and get him cooled down, and then he was fine the rest of the time. But it was a little bit scary for sure. The boys absolutely loved it. It took them a long time to put 2 and 2 together that we were actually at a rodeo, so that was kind of funny. But now that we're home, I've been doing dishes and laundry. I've got the kitchen cleaned up, and now I need to get dinner cooking. We're gonna have shepherd's pie for dinner tonight. Excuse me, cat. Wait, which one was that? Rory or Luke just attached themselves to my butt. Okay, I need to get dinner cooking though. I need to get the ground beef going and the potatoes going so I can make mashed potatoes and all of that for dinner tonight. And I also need to get these melons cut up, the watermelon and the 2 cantaloupes, because the kids will eat on this throughout the week, and on top of all of our fruit there and the fruit that we have in the fridge. So we're big fruit eaters in this house. I did not get any of the house chores done before we left because I drank my coffee, made breakfast, I ended up having to go get Waylon, and then got back here, and then it was about an hour before we had to go, so I had to get the kids and myself ready and go. So we are going to grab this and get dinner started. These potatoes are starting to go a little bit bad, so I need to get them used. Like I said a second ago, these potatoes were starting to go a little bit crazy in my pantry and we're starting to produce some shoots. So what I did is I just cut those areas off before I peeled them, and then I'm cutting them in half and dicing them into about medium-sized chunks before I put them in the boiling water, just so that they boil a little bit faster than if I were to leave them whole or halved. Alright, so in the pan, I am going to get the meat going. I'm going to put a little bit of avocado oil, and then some minced up garlic, until it turns a little bit fragrant, or starts becoming fragrant. Ground beef. And then I'm going to season it with a little bit of garlic powder. We don't skimp on the seasoning around here, so I'll tell you that much. A little bit of onion powder. And you season with your heart, not with measuring spoons here. Some salt. And it looks like that was a lot, but for some reason, this salt that I got from Sam's Club is not very salty. So I'm hoping that when I refill this, the other salt will be better. Put some pepper in there. Worcestershire sauce. Some spicy Dijon mustard. And then get it all mixed. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn this down onto low. and let that simmer and really soak up all of the flavor while I let those potatoes cook. These are all of the muscadines that we gathered and harvested on Thursday or Friday of this week. I can't remember, but we have so many, and we are still trying to figure out what all we want to do with them. I think we're definitely going to make some muscadine wine, but as far as what else we're going to use with any leftover, I'm not really sure. So they're going to soak in here. I'm going to try and find all the bad ones, and then they're going to go in the freezer until we're ready to process them. All right, so while I'm waiting on dinner to cook, I'm going to get these melons chopped up and in the fridge and ready for this week. Look at those. The boys will eat those up. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love homemade mashed potatoes. It is something that growing up I don't remember eating a lot of, but as an adult I have grown to really love them. We used to buy the $1 packet of mashed potatoes that you just add water to, and then poof, you have mashed potatoes, but they have nothing on homemade mashed potatoes. And I think it wasn't until Dustin's grandmother started making the mashed potatoes for us whenever we would come over for dinner that I really grew to love homemade mashed potatoes. Okay, so in the mashed potatoes I have butter, cream cheese, heavy whipping cream, salt, garlic powder. I also feel like a lot of kids really enjoy mashed potatoes, but my children really do not. They prefer to have their potatoes sliced thinly and then put in the air fryer with a little bit of cheese and bacon on top of them. And let me tell you, that's delicious as well. But mashed potatoes are a comfort food for me, and I absolutely love them. So whenever I get the chance to make them, I always make a little bit extra so that I can have them for lunch later on in the week or whatnot. So I've whipped these mashed potatoes up and we're getting ready to put it all together. Also, I apologize for the poor lighting. The sun was just not in our favor. And I'm going to tell you this again later, so sorry for repeating it, but I'm adding in a pack of frozen mixed vegetables, and then on top of that, I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce just to add some extra flavor. And then I will put the ground beef on, and then the mashed potatoes, and then the cheese before I stick it into the oven and have that bake to really pretty much cook the vegetables and just melt all of the flavors together. And then I'll actually put the broiler on to brown up the top of the cheese as well. And it just makes the most absolute perfect shepherd's pie ever. We love it. All of our friends that we've let try it love it. The kids, again, like the mashed potatoes, they don't love, but everyone that's tried it absolutely loves it. That was perfect timing. This is what it looks like. I browned the cheese with the broiler, and then it's just the shredded cheese, mashed potatoes, ground beef, and a mixed veggie packet all together. And we've got our meat, veggie, and grain all in one.